Hi guys. Have you guys ever thought about creating a YouTube channel just talking about nonsense regarding football?
Regarding football?
Well, me and my
Well,
boys decided that because it's lockdown and there's nothing to do, and the Premier League just is about to start up again, we decided that we're gonna do just that. We are calling this the Footie Boys, and I have with me Cranker.
Yo, what's up? My name is Cranker, as Lenka has mentioned. I'm the best soccer player to have never made it to the league. But that doesn't mean that my opinion is not valid. If anything, I'm going to school all the young ones and the old ones, especially these two guys here, on what football is about.
Okay, Cranker, we're gonna see about that. I also have Siyanda with us.
what's up, guys? I'm Siyanda, as Lenka said. I didn't play soccer like Cranker, but I've watched soccer, a lot of it, and I think my eye test will prove to be quite resourceful.
Okay, and I'm sure you guys have heard already. My name is Lenka, and I used to play soccer, so I'm somewhere in between Siyanda and Cranker. But what I bring to the table is I bring the numbers, and so we have three guys who love soccer. They love watching it. They love playing it, and what we want to do is just chat. It's not a lot of times you get people who aren't pros to come and talk about soccer. So we just want this to be for the normal guy to be able to chat. All that banter that we normally already have, we're going to bring it to YouTube and we hope you guys enjoy it. So what we have on the Footy Boys today is we'll be talking about three teams, three things. We'll talk about which teams we support. We talk about our predictions for the rest of the Premier League season. So the standings, and we'll talk about which games to watch this week before the next video. So we're gonna start there. Let's start with Timber. Timber, which team do you support and why do you support it?
All right. First of all, I'm going to start this off by saying I support the best English club in history. And I know all statisticians are want to come for me and say, no, but wait, technically it's Man United with 66 trophies, you only have 63. But if we take away all the community shields, Liverpool is number one. If you take away all the community, Man U has won 21 community shields, we've won 15. So minus all of those community shields, and Liverpool is the best English team in history. So that's the team that I support. And here's why I support it. Because we play amazing football. So not only do we have history to back us, but we play some of the most amazing football. We did go through an era around the mid 2000s, to the mid.
Oh, too many lies there.
Hey, it was a bit of a dark era. But as you can see, we've made it out. Soon to be crowned Premier League champions. So looking forward to that. But I think something that I enjoy the most is that we have probably one of the best atmospheres at our home ground, Anfield. It's a fortress. It's probably on everyone's bucket list to go there and just, be able to sing "You'll Never Walk Alone." So yeah, that's why I support Liverpool, a club rich in history, a club with a big fan base, and a club that's passionate not only about success but also about its people. You'll never walk alone.
Okay, Cranker, we hear you, brother. I don't know if I agree with you with a lot of the things.
It sounded
But
like you
listen, whoa, it's okay, it's okay. Siyanda, how about you tell us who you support and why you support it?
I support the mighty Arsenal, the biggest team in London, arguably in England. I support Arsenal obviously because of the heritage, the history, the class, the respect. Also one of the greatest clubs to come out of the South London. So also, I'm not going to go on like Cranker explaining what's happened in the past because our history speaks for itself. But there's also figures that have been in our clubs, figures that have changed and shaped the football in England to what it is today. And that man obviously is Arsene Wenger, one of the biggest reasons I'm a supporter. Not just a great manager, but a great man. And obviously one of the top strikers in the history of football, Thierry Henry, is also another reason. I'm a fan of this club. Top 3 strikers in history. Yeah, that's me. I'm a Gruner.
A Guna. I hope you are still able to watch AFTV during these bad times.
Siyanda is Lord Bentner, one of those top 3 strikers that helped change the style of football. Because it feels like your dark period as a club has run for a lot longer than most people.
Dark period. We're not in a dark period. We are ascending. We are rebuilding. We are reestablishing, rebuilding the dynasty.
Okay, guys, calm down. I'm sure everyone has already seen. I am a Red Devil. You can see by that wonderful jersey behind me. I am a Red Devils fan. I am a Manchester United fan. And I've been a fan for a very long time. I can't remember when or how exactly I started liking it. All I know is at my cousin's house, their fridge had a sticker with Man United. That's where I think I first saw the emblem. And then I remember buying Kickoff magazine and finding the Man United, those pictures they take of the starting lineup before the game. I had one of those for a very long time on my wall. I think it must have been the early 2000s. And so I have Beckham and them. I had Beckham and them on this very closet here for a very long time. But it is the biggest team in England. I won't qualify it because because I obviously have rivals on here. But it's good. Cranker, I think it's good that you guys are chasing us now. We were chasing you guys for a very long time. But it is the biggest team. It has arguably the best stadium in England. And definitely it definitely has a history that slightly pips Liverpool's, especially in the last 30 years. But we'll talk about the last 30 years in another video. That is why we support the teams we support. Now, James, the Premier League is about to start up. The first few games, I think, is Sheffield and Villa. And then we also have City and Arsenal at the Etihad. But before we do that, what we've decided to do as the Footie Boys is we want to put up our predictions. So who do we think will be the top 6, maybe 7, if you want to put in a 7th one, and why? You don't have to qualify all of the teams. You don't have to explain to everyone why you think all of those teams will be there. But that would be good. And then the bottom 3, because we do always think about who's going down or who looks like they're going down. So we're going to do these predictions and we'll come back to them in a couple of weeks when the league is over and see who did the best. But for now, let's start with Siyanda. Siyanda, why don't you tell us who your top 6 is and why?
I've made mine a top 7 because I had to put my club in there because...
We're already running into issues, ladies and gentlemen. We're already running into issues, but let's...
top 7, dude.
Yes.
You really know who number 7 is going to be.
Okay, let's go, Siyanda. Who do you have in the top 7 and why?
Let me start at the top because obviously I think that's the most obvious one. Usually I'd start at the bottom.
And say it with your chest.
Whatever. Why stop interrupting me? Whatever. Obviously, it's a asterisk title for Liverpool. There's definitely an asterisk on it. Many question marks. We can give it to them. City. So for me, I think you can see this. For me, the way I broke it down was between 9 and number 2. There's 18 points. It's tight. And 10 games left or plus minus. So I think that it's wide open for me in the top. That's why I had to bring in Arsenal. So number 2 would be Man City. I don't have the points like our statistician here, Lenka. I just have the position. Number 2, Man City. Number 3, Chelsea. Number 4, Leicester City. Number 5, Wolves. Number 6, United. Number 7, Arsenal. And Arsenal will again finish above Tottenham this season, even after season.
Wow.
Are there any significant reasons why you think it will be like that? If you don't have it, okay.
I do. I thought I have some of these smaller teams like Leicester and Wolves moving down because I don't think they have the stature of the clubs that they're fighting with up there, especially since everybody's starting off. There's a couple of things. Obviously, Leicester it was a tough one because last I remember, Brendan Rodgers seemed to be really doing a good job as a manager. So you got to give him credit there. I don't know if it's going to translate now to after a 4-month or 3-month break. I also thought to myself, Wolves, they're a good team, but a small club. So I don't know if they'll be able to kick off and hit the road running after the break. And then I had also considered just the environment at the club. Like we at Arsenal have Arteta, things are on the up, rebuilding, redesigning. At United, the last I checked, I could be wrong, there seemed to be a little bit of strife between Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Pogba. At least everybody's overhyping Bruno Fernandes, but I don't buy it. So I have them moving down to their favorite position, number 6, which they spent the most time in this season. Yeah, that's basically it. Must I do my bottom 3 now, or are we doing top?
Yeah. Give us the bottom 3.
So it's also tight there in terms of from number 16 or 15 to the last one. So I think the bottom 2, which is Norwich and Aston Villa, are going to stay in that position relatively. But the last one is going to be a battle, and I've got Brighton falling into that just because I think if we continued and there wasn't a break, they would have probably stayed up. But I think because of this and them being a small club in their nature, I think they're going to struggle having their fixtures as well. There's a lot of top half teams in their fixtures going into the final run. So do Bournemouth, which is close, but I feel like Bournemouth has got a little bit more experience in the Premier League than they do.
Okay, those are good thoughts. Very biased, but well,
what?
It's good.
I was priding myself on how objective I was, and then you're saying I'm biased.
Well, I guess only time will tell, but those are some good thoughts. Thank you, Siyanda.
In the beginning I had...
okay.
I said in the beginning I had Arsenal in the top 4, but I was like, actually, nah, I can't. That can't work out.
No
listen,
way.
Listen, Siyanda, this is the Footie Boys. This is the banter you have every single day. And so you're allowed to do what you want to do, bro. And so maybe you did an injustice to yourself and your team by not putting yourself in the top 4, but we'll see how it goes. Temba, what do you have for us?
All right. So yeah, I think for me, the major thing that I took into account was the fact that there'll be no fans in the stadiums. And so I think the smaller teams who generally would perform better against the bigger teams at their home stadiums with the support of their fans, that would have been an added advantage. But with that taken away, I think it will give the big fish or the bigger teams a bit more of an advantage when they play against them. So as a result, my top 6 probably comprises of only one small team, that being Leicester. But let me break it down. So yeah, I'll start off with the champions elect.
Listen, I've fought you guys for too long. You guys are right. You're right. You are the champions elect.
There's an asterisk on it, though, remember.
There is no asterisk.
There is an asterisk.
On what grounds? On what grounds would you put an asterisk?
What? What are you talking about? Okay, sorry. I interrupted you.
No grounds for an asterisk. All right. Number 1 is Liverpool. Number 2, Man City. I don't see anyone else being able to catch up to Man City, nor do I see them having a bad run of form. I think the next game against Arsenal is going to be tricky for them. But even if they lose that, I don't think it will dent them finishing second. So I put them as my number 2. Number 3 is still going to be Leicester. I still feel like they have a strong enough squad to carry them to the finish line. They will struggle here and there, but I also think the teams below them will struggle here and there, and eventually it's going to balance out to where I think they'll still safely or comfortably stay in number 3. Dang, my phone's about to die.
Oh man.
Actually, how
This
much
is what
battery did-
happens on Footie Boys. We deal with real life issues. And so Cranker's phone is really about to die. He has to plug it up so he can still be with us. All right,
Where was he?
Cranker, you have Leicester still in 3rd.
Yeah. All right, I'm back. So yeah, Leicester still in 3rd. I must say, number 4 for me was the trickiest one. Because I think for number 4 it's going to be a race till the final day, and
Yep.
even with that, yeah, it's just going to be a case of who has the best run leading up to the final day. But okay, I was caught between Chelsea and Man United. Those for me were the 2 where I felt like, yeah, they're fighting for that last spot in Europe at the moment. But I gave it to Chelsea. I feel like Lampard has a strong enough squad to carry him through those hard games. I feel like leading up to COVID-19 and the season taking a break, they had good momentum. But we obviously know that doesn't really count for much. But they have a lot of players also going to be wanting to prove themselves because they've already been busy in the transfer market, wanting to sign top quality players. So even the players that are currently playing now, they're going to be playing to prove a point to Lampard to say, hey, I deserve to be playing, regular first team football next season. And so I see them having a number 4 finish. Number 5 would be Manchester United. Then number 6, Arsenal. I give it to the big fish.
And then bottom 3?
Bottom 3.
The bottom 3, okay, Norwich, I think, is a given. Those guys are going down. I don't care who says what, but there's no way they are surviving. So it would be Norwich, Bournemouth, and West Ham. Norwich, Bournemouth, and West Ham. I think they're gonna go down.
You can't inject in the boys to come up.
West Ham and the boys there,
yeah. I
going down.
I honestly think Aston Villa, given how they've been unfortunate that midway through the season they started to get exposed more and more, but I feel like the squad that they have can carry them till the end. And their run of fixtures isn't too bad. I mean, I think at this point it's like for everyone's going to be playing a challenging game, except for Liverpool. Obviously, it's like it's pretty much a given that we'll probably win most of our games, if not all of our games. But for every other team, it's a do or die type situation. But I think those are the 3 that are going to drop for me.
Do you think, Cranker, your team is going to have the motivation to play big games like when you guys play City and after you guys have won the title and stuff like that? Because I think you can win it at Everton.
Yeah, if Arsenal do the job against Man City and get that win, then we'll have even more motivation to win it in the Merseyside derby at Everton's home ground. So without a doubt, there'll still be motivation, because I think we're probably going to want to break even more records in terms of having the highest amount of points ever. So I don't see Klopp slacking in any way. Even though he's been trying to bring in a lot of youngsters in the setup. But yeah, Klopp is one of those coaches where he wants to always put out his best. And so as a result, I think we'll probably still, put out strong teams. I think he'll try to have a good balance in terms of incorporating some youngsters, but it'll be more so cameos coming off the bench and not necessarily as starters. So we'll probably start strong teams, try to get the job done as early as possible in our games, and then start to bring in some of the youngsters or some of the guys that need more game time.
Yeah. No, those are some good thoughts, Cranker. Okay. I shouldn't have set myself up to say I'm just the numbers guy, even though I am. So I went through a lot to put this together, maybe more than the other guys, but I will say just some qualifying aspects to how I went about this. I think I took a little bit of the approach that Cranker took, in that the fans won't be a big factor. And so going into most of the games, I literally thought to myself, with everyone having been laid off for so long, a lot of the guys who were injured have come back. And so what we're looking at is are teams that I assume will be 95% to 100% fully fit. And so if those teams play against each other, who wins? Considering that the home support isn't as big of a factor as it normally is because the fans are not there. So I actually went out and I literally looked at every game that the bottom 5 are playing and the top 11 are playing, because I think I thought, let me just make sure that all are there. And I think thinking off of what Siyanda said as well, I realized I made a mistake in not including Brighton because they were so close to everyone else at the bottom. But I still don't think Brighton will go down. So here's my top 6. My top 6 is Liverpool, even though that pains me to say. Liverpool is number 1. I have Manchester City in number 2. I don't think anyone is going to catch City from the rest of the pack. Huh?
Tell us the points. You said you've worked out the points. I'm interested to hear.
No, that's coming. That's coming. It's just that those 2 points don't matter because I think that no one is going to catch them anyway. But I have Liverpool. I didn't even calculate Liverpool's points. It's 100 and something, I think, if they don't take their foot off the pedal. I think Cranker was right in saying, they're knocked out of the FA Cup. They're knocked out of the Champions League. There's only the league to play. So there's really not any use for Klopp to not chase that record. And also not to chase the record on having the least amount of losers behind the Invincibles in the league ever, in the Premier League ever. So I have Liverpool first, still far above City. I have City finishing around 82 points, which is where Liverpool currently is. And part of the reason is because I think they'll lose to Liverpool still. I have in third Man United. And this is listen though.
I want to hear this.
I have Man United because firstly, Man United is the second best team, the second best top 6 team performing against other top 6 teams. We've already played Liverpool, so we're not gonna Liverpool. We don't have to play. We've already played City. I think United will win the rest of the top six games that they have. And if you remove the top six games and you look at the other potentials like big teams, I think United has one of the better games left. And so, because of that, I have United finishing third. I'll get to how many points they accumulate after I finish my top. I have a top eight. I have Chelsea fourth. Simply because, like I said, I think Chelsea will lose a couple of times. But because they're playing big teams, I have them winning all the other games and maybe drawing one of the relegation fighting sides later on. But I have them winning a lot of their games, so I gave them fourth. I gave Leicester fifth, just because, like I said, I don't think home support is a factor. Leicester perform really well at home with their fans, and so because that won't be a big factor, I don't see them doing much damage. I have Wolves, Sheffield, and Spurs, so 6, 7, and 8, all finishing at 61. So obviously, this is not going to happen in real life. But according to what I was thinking, actually adding up the games where I think teams will win, draw, and lose, I have United on 68, Chelsea on 64, Leicester on 63, Wolves, Sheffield, and Spurs on 61. So I don't know how that's gonna work out, but that's my top eight. And if I give you top six, it will be all. I can't give you top six because I have the other teams in. So the best I could do is top five with Leicester, Chelsea, United, City, and Liverpool in reverse. And then same concept plays in with the bottom sides, except I have Norwich dead last in 20th. Um, I think Norwich, looking at the games they're gonna play and looking at how they've been playing the whole season, I don't see Norwich winning any game. So obviously, if Norwich win any game out of their final games, that obviously changes. But I don't think it will change them getting out of the bottom three. So I have Norwich in 20th. I have Aston Villa. They also have a difficult run of games. They could get a couple of draws, but I don't see them winning as well. So I have Aston Villa, Norwich as 19 and 20. And then I have West Ham going down with Bournemouth and Watford surviving. Like I said, I forgot to put in Brighton, and so maybe I should have considered that as well. But I have West Ham going down. I think they have the most difficult games, some of the most difficult games aside from Norwich. And so I think with the way they've been performing, I don't see how they're gonna win a lot of games. I actually have them only winning one and getting a lot of draws. So that will pull them down. I have Norwich 22 points, Aston Villa 25 or 28, Aston Villa 28, West Ham 33, Bournemouth 37, Watford 40. So those are my predictions.
You guys really think between Watford, West Ham, and Bournemouth that West Ham is going down?
West Ham is going down.
Yeah, I think West Ham is going down.
Nah.
Like I said, I don't base it off of how long they've been in the league and that kind of stuff. I'm looking at if everything is neutral fan wise. They've been struggling in their own stadium anyway. But now if they have no fans at all and the games they have to play, I just don't see them doing well.
So, in Germany, they've been going on for a while. And apparently, the no fan thing is affecting smaller clubs more than it's affecting bigger clubs.
In a bad way, right?
Yeah, in terms of negatively, the smaller clubs are struggling to hit the form that they used to, and in terms of challenge the way they used to in the past against the bigger clubs, because of there's no that vuma from the fans.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's Germany.
Yeah. No, I can see that being a factor. But like I said, I the way I went in is everyone's fit. You put in your best starting 11. who wins. And yeah, that's where I pulled off. I think there's more controversy in what I said in the top half though than there is in the bottom half. I actually have Arsenal finishing ninth, Siyanda, so I'm sorry about that. I'm really sorry about that.
To apologize, you just verified that you're a hater. You basically number 9 after.
I used the numbers though. I didn't use like I said, even though it was painful for me to say Liverpool will get to over 100 points. I just have to look at the facts, and I'm looking at the team, the games they have to play, and unfortunately, Siyanda,
I'm
you
still
guys.
According to our fixtures, what makes you think we're going to finish? What makes you think we're going to finish so low?
I don't think you guys will get more than 5 wins in your remaining 10 games. That's why.
Why against who are these clubs that we won't be able to get 5 wins?
I don't.
Who? Like, look here, dude. The only team that above us, I mean, besides Liverpool, and Liverpool at this point in time, they would have been won the league already. It'd be long over. Tottenham, they know their place.
Tottenham is going to beat you. I have Tottenham beating you.
Are you guys going to beat Tottenham?
Yeah, we're going to beat Mourinho.
I don't see Tottenham finishing in the top 6. I don't see Mourinho finishing in the top 6. Because
I actually don't as well. I actually don't. It's just that, like I said, it'll be tied from 6 to 8. So I don't see Mourinho doing well. But I think the Spurs players themselves will have enough to get over the Arsenal. I'm not sure about the other games, but I think they're getting off. I think they'll be better than Arsenal.
Nah, I feel like Arsenal, they probably are more likely to have a better run towards the end. Because I think Arteta, there's just something that he was sort of starting to get right. Like, as much as it wasn't there was something that he was starting to get right. And if anything, I'm hoping during this 3 months period, they were having Zoom meetings like crazy and not just stretching the whole time, but actually trying to implement some of his philosophies and ideals. And so for me, I think that's good. That's good. This period was a bit of a blessing, and Arsenal are going to shift gears a bit. And yeah, Mourinho's style of football is another factor for me, because I also, given the crop of players that he has, it's like they don't fit perfectly into what he wants them to do. And so he's probably going to need a transfer window again now in the summer to reshape things and solve players and all of that. So, but yeah.
Let me answer Siyanda. So Siyanda, these are the games you guys have left, right? You guys are playing City at the Etihad. I have you guys losing that. I hope I don't have to explain that. It's Pep Guardiola. Then you guys,
what do you
guys
mean?
But for me, it's
that's what I'm saying. You can't be like you can't be like I'm basing this off of facts, and then these are facts that are before the season stopped. All of that's out the window. Because I could say City was struggling.
Okay, Siyanda. Do you guys have? Okay, yes. That's a fair comment. But do you think you have a better team man to man than Man City does?
But you see, now I will agree that man to man, City probably has a better team. But if you're going to use that argument, I think our team is better than most of the teams above us. Tottenham, Sheffield, Chelsea, Wolves, Leicester.
Okay, let me ask it in this way then,
Chelsea has a better team.
Chelsea has a better team.
No. There's maybe 2 players there that are noteworthy.
Okay.
And the one guy also.
Okay, let me run through the games because you asked me. Let me not stop because that's gonna create an argument in every round. So then you guys play Brighton. I think you guys draw Brighton.
Why? Why are you going to draw Brighton?
Let me run through the games. I have you guys beating Southampton. I have you guys beating Norwich. I have you guys drawing Leicester and Wolves. I have you guys then losing against Tottenham and Liverpool, beating Aston Villa, and beating Yeah, beating Watford. I have you guys beating Watford. So those are the games you guys have. And that's why I'm saying maybe I don't see you guys winning 5 games there. But that's my opinion. So I could be wrong. I'll definitely be wrong.
Yeah.
Your opinion
But
is wrong.
that's
Just know
my
that.
that's my
Yeah.
opinion. That's
For
my
me,
opinion.
though, I don't see how United is gonna close down that 8 point gap between you and Leicester. That one I see it hard. It's very hard to see.
I
Okay,
agree.
let me put it in this way.
No,
So
let me add to Cranker. I'm just saying
okay.
that and it's hard to draw from past form and whatnot. I'm saying United's going to struggle just purely looking at the squad, just at the squad as it is.
What's wrong with what do you think is missing in the squad?
It's just not good enough unless Pogba you just don't just haven't
Okay,
what's the idea
Sian.
of the squad?
All right. That's a fair opinion. I think our squad is probably at a play. It's at a better place than it was when the lockdown happened because we have Pogba back. We have Scott McTominay, whose first game back was Man City that we beat, and we also have Rashford back. We still have Odion Igalo. We just extended the loan to the end of the season. And so I think our attack looks a lot better than it was when the lockdown happened. And that's part of the reason why I'm saying we'll probably that and the fact that we have, I'm not saying we have the easiest run, but looking at our games, we have one of the easiest runs concerning the games we have left. And the fact that we've done well against the top six, and we've already played some of the games against our top six opponents. And so, yeah, that's why I have it. But
You think Pogba will play?
He will. He's fully fit. He's not starting. Ole Gunnar has already said he isn't starting against Spurs, and so we'll probably have Bruno Fernandes. We'll probably have Bruno Fernandes, Scott, and Fred. I think Scott and Fred because they've done well together, but he could decide to still put in Matic there. So it depends on what he's feeling on the day, I guess. But that would be a 3-man midfield with Bruno Fernandes very advanced and Scott and Fred playing the double pivot is what I have. So and then we have like Martial up front or Igalo, probably Martial with Rashford on the left, and I don't know who will play on the right, but yeah.
Where do you think Man United's front three ranks in terms of the top six?
That's a difficult question for a numbers man on the spot because I'd have to go look at all the front threes.
You don't need the numbers out there. You guys' front three is sixth in the top six. Actually, maybe Wolves one is fresh. Very fresh. Jota, Jimenez, and who else plays there? What's that buff dude's name, man?
The former Barca boy.
Traore. That's fire there, you know. We go to Leicester. Who's playing at Leicester? We know Jamie Vardy is a goal machine. Who plays on the left and right?
They only have Jamie Vardy, those guys.
That's what I'm saying. So I think it's easy to just analyze the attack, but we have to consider the defense as well. And United have built a solid back five, including the keeper. Like that's probably our most unchanged positions is the back five. And so for part of that reason is what I'm saying. I think we'll concede we won't concede as much as the other teams will. I'm not saying we'll score more than the other teams, but I don't think we'll concede more than the other teams.
So I have a quick question. What would be your ideal starting 11 for this upcoming fixture? Hashtag new opening day.
Tottenham or for Siyanda for Arsenal versus
for each
City.
of your teams. For each of your teams.
Okay.
Say what would be your ideal starting 11? And maybe even if some coaches have also like the Pogba situation, you can take that into account. But if you don't want to, it's fine.
Yeah. I'd say so. This would be my ideal starting 11 right now. Um, I would have the same back five. So I'll have De Gea in goal. Um, I'll have Wan-Bissaka with the highest percentage successful tackles in the league on the right.
But that doesn't mean anything when you see a guy get tapeted, right? You know those stats. And they go,
Siyanda,
And you got
you guys don't have a good right back. So let
do you,
me
what,
and Cranker talk about right backs.
what are you talking about?
Okay. Wan-Bissaka, I have Lindelof and Slabhead Maguire in the center,
Captain, my
and I
captain.
have either Brandon Williams or Luke Shaw. But for Tottenham, I'll go for Luke Shaw. Then I have a double pivot, so I'm playing a 4-4-2-3-1. So I'll have a double pivot midfield with, like I said, Scott and Fred. I think they've just done well together. Then I have in the three attacking, I have Rashford on the left. I have Bruno Fernandes in the free role number 10, roaming. Um, then the other one is tricky. The right side is tricky. I think that's probably the one position we need a new player the most.
You guys
Hoping
have Jesse
hoping
Lingard.
Sancho.
Jay
Jesse,
Ling,
yeah,
number 10.
J-Lings wastes, but maybe J-Lings has a proof to point against Mourinho. So I think I'll probably put J-Lings. Yeah, J-Lings is one of those players that probably runs the in front in training. So I think he'll get the nod ahead of Dan James, which would be the other option, or Mata, depending on what Ole wants to do. And then I have Martial up front. I don't think Igalo will start, so I'll have Martial up front. That would be my starting 11. And I think then we take that game, we win that game 3-1.
There's no place for
What?
Pogba in your team.
Wow.
No, Siyanda. I'm not saying
Remember,
Pogba isn't there. I said Ole said he's not starting Pogba, so I'm working off of that.
You see, those are things that make me even believe more that you guys are going to finish number 6. The strife in the change room with your best player.
There's no
But anyway,
strife. There's no strife. You were supposed to miss the rest of the season.
Pogba.
Yes, he's been injured. Pogba got injured in early this year, dude. He hasn't played for months.
But didn't you say he was fit?
Yes, but Ole said because this is his first big game back, he's not gonna start him. I'm not saying he's not
Oh,
fit, but I'm
okay.
saying that he won't start. He might play later on. Ole might change his mind and let him start. I don't know, but based off of what Ole had said of not starting him, is why I have Scott and Fred in the midfield. Nothing about not trusting Pogba. I still think Pogba is the best player at our club on his day. Um, One of the best midfielders in the world on his day. But yeah, just inconsistencies and whatnot. But that's not the reason for that right now. Yeah.
Okay,
See,
my starting 11. I mean, I was just thinking ideal, not necessarily for the fixture on tomorrow. But if I was thinking tomorrow, I would play Bernard Leno on keeper, Bellerin on the right, Louise with Rob Holding, and then I'll play Siad Kolasinac on the left. Also, I'm playing a 4-2-3-1 as well.
you're leaving Socrates out.
That man, he must be sold. He must be sold. Sell.
Okay. Midfield.
Midfield, I would go. Apparently, Xhaka hasn't been trained. Hasn't played any of the games. So, at least I don't know if he's going to play or not. So I'm going to leave him out. I will play Guendouzi and Torreira in the midfield, and then on the left we'll play on the 3. Play on the left. We'll play Aubameyang. Play Nicola Pepe on the right. Play Mesut Ozil down the middle, and Lacazette up front. Against City, do the business.
I thought you want Laka out. Hashtag Laka out.
If he's here, he must play. Actually, I might change my midfield to not Guendouzi, but Torreira and Willock.
Okay. Put the young man in.
Make them run. He's the next Patrick Vieira. Frank, I know you.
If you're playing Willock, then you're definitely taking an L.
Did you see the goal he scored against your team?
Willock is not gonna sit on Kevin De Bruyne. It just won't happen.
You need people to deal with KDB. Willock is chasing De Bruyne, wanting an autograph because he's just so brilliant.
De Bruyne is the best midfielder in the league right now, Siyanda. Possibly the best player in the league right now. Possibly,
that's true, but we all know who it is.
That's not factual.
Who's it, Cranker? Give us your team and tell us who the best player is. The man who hasn't scored at home in a very long time. Okay, Cranker.
He doesn't need to score.
Cranker, give us your starting 11, boy.
I mean, this one is an easy one. It's been the the most consistent starting lineup in the whole league. But obviously, the league's top goalkeeper, Alisson. And then we'll go to the right. England's number one of the world's best, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Would go with the world's most expensive and probably the world's best centre back, Virgil van Dijk. England's up and coming.
Now. You've had the best everything now. Everybody's the best in three positions.
Of a team we are. We have the best.
Nah, choose.
Okay, so
I didn't know we were qualifying every position like that, Crank. I would have given my.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's the best. The best keeper, the best right back, the best food.
You guys had your chance, and it's okay.
But yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's true. And then I have on my left back, obviously Robbo, another lethal fullback. In the midfield, I'm gonna have.
Wait, the other next to Virg. I didn't hear that.
Joe Gomez.
Oh, really?
By the way, Cranker.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Maguire is the most expensive defender in the world.
That cost merchant.
Continue.
That man can't even do a long ball for nothing.
Slabhead has the best aerial wins in the Premier League. Continue, bro.
Listen, I don't want to get started with your captain. The fact that he took over from Ashley Young, you guys are producing in recent years. But let's not get into
yeah. I mean, that's
in my midfield, I got a midfield three. Fabinho playing as a deep line playmaker, and just in front of him, I have Gini Wijnaldum and Henderson doing box to box. They don't necessarily play as creatives. Firmino's going to be dropping back in that false nine position as usual. And then, on either side, it'll be Sadio Mane and Mo Salah.
I think that's probably one of the most consistent starting 11s I've seen in a very long time in the league. Yeah, I think just props to Klopp for working out that system and having players who are versatile enough to fill in to the blanks. For instance, Shaqiri can fall into the midfield, or he can play up front, wide, even in the center. I think Klopp, I don't give a lot of credit all the time to Liverpool, but I think Klopp's done a really good job.
I know.
James Milner, the most versatile player in the history of the Premier League.
And probably one of the most fittest as well. He's still breaking fitness records at Melwood Park, so that's pretty good.
Really, I don't know if that's a compliment for James or an insult to the rest of your players.
Hey, that's what motivates our players to keep on getting better, because they have to beat this old guy every time it trains.
How old is James?
He's in his mid-30s. I think he's hitting
33. That's embarrassing.
He's old.
That's embarrassing. You're telling me a guy like Mo Salah How old is Mo Salah?
James Milner is like the Ronaldo of England. He'll be able to play till 40. That's how fit he is.
Nah. We all know Ronaldo pumps millions of dollars into his bodies. James Milner can't have that kind of money.
James Milner just drinks tea, and that's it. You know that man doesn't drink alcohol. He's never seen a nightclub in his life. That man
Really?
just loves his family.
That's why I follow the account Boring James Milner on Twitter. It has the best tweets in the world. Okay, boys. Let's not go on too long. Can you guys give me the 3 top games for this coming week, and then we'll end the show there. So, Siyanda, what are your 3 games to watch? And then maybe we'll talk about 1 or 2 of those games.
Arsenal versus City. Arsenal versus Brighton. I'm just playing.
That's not in the next week.
I'm not lying. Arsenal versus City is definitely one to see. For me, I'm definitely, maybe I'll come watch. Hopefully you come this weekend, and then we can watch you get thrashed by Spurs on Friday. That's one I think I want to see. I might even watch personally. Spurs versus United at Spurs. And then I think Watford versus Leicester, because like I was saying, I think for the relegation bout, and also for the top 4 with Leicester, with all our predictions whether Leicester's going to finish top what. I think that match against Watford's going to be a humdinger. Because there's a lot on the line for both teams. Because both, obviously, a win for Watford means moving up from the bottom, and a win for Leicester means sticking into their position, especially it being the first game back. I think positioning yourself is going to be very important. Did Temba go?
He's back. I have them drawing, but let's hear Temba. What are your 3 games to watch in the Premier League this coming week?
I think there are a lot of appetizing fixtures, but definitely for me, the number 1 is the Merseyside derby. Everyone is going to be trying to see will we have what it takes, to either lift it at Goodison Park. That's if Man City took a loss, but it should be Liverpool versus Everton. Then the next one, I'd probably say, the big one as well, Manchester City versus Arsenal. That would be my next one. For me, those are the major fixtures that I'll be looking at in the Premier League. Everyone else, I'm just throwing the dice. Because we don't know what's going to come out of it. We don't know, but everyone else, I'm throwing the dice.
Okay. When's the Merseyside derby?
That's cool.
It's the last.
It's on Sunday. On Sunday. Okay, these are my top 3 games. I have City Arsenal. I think it's a big game. I think it's a big game. Definitely can't leave it out. I have Spurs United as my second one. So this is just in the order that they're playing, not necessarily in the order of importance. I have Spurs versus United because we all know it's all to play for right there in the middle. And so I think it will be very good. United playing against its old manager as well. So looking forward to that one on Friday. And then Everton versus Liverpool for sure. Merseyside derby. I think the reason I want to see that one is because I just want to see what Liverpool's going to do coming back. Seems from the pre-games that they've been playing well, and so a derby never hurts. And I think this one is going to be very significant. Obviously, thinking about whether City will have won their game against Arsenal or not. I think they will. So I think the derby takes Liverpool closer, but it doesn't necessarily give it to them. So those are my top 3 games. I'm hoping we guys could watch it together somehow. I don't know. We'll see if something like that could happen. But let's That's good. That's good. So which game do you guys think is the most important in terms of impact? I have Spurs United, and that's not being biased, but I think there's just more. There's there's just more that game is gonna play a part in with regards to where both teams end up finishing, and I think it gives both teams a lot to take in via momentum. So I have Spurs versus United. I think whoever wins that game will probably go on a run. Um, yeah, because Spurs' games after United's, I had Spurs only losing against United, and either drawing or winning the rest of their games. And so, like I said, I think that Spurs United is the big one because of that.
Yeah, no, I think I would agree with you on that one. It's probably gonna be yeah, one of the ones to watch. So maybe I'll add it maybe into my top three instead of having top two fixtures. It'll be my third one as well. Because both teams are sort of fighting for the same spot or similar spots in Europe, and so whoever starts strong most likely will have a bit of a good run, but it's still not guaranteed because both teams don't have an easy run of fixtures. It'll be challenging either side. But I think it'll be a good one to watch outside of the Liverpool and the City games. So I'd put it up there in terms of the most interesting.
Yeah, I think for me, where's Everton actually on the table? Yeah, I think, like you guys are saying, the United Spurs game is pretty big. But obviously, like you're saying, a strong start is important. So I think the Arsenal City game is also pretty massive for me. So it's kind of hard to think subjectively here.
Objectively.
Objectively.
All right, boys. Let's not keep going too long. But thank you very much to everyone for watching. Do you guys have any final remarks before we close off, Siyanda Temba?
Watch this space. Arsenal definitely going to make it to Europe somehow, some way. Mikel Arteta starting the new dynasty, building up. It was very positive in the last end of the at the start of the lockdown. Hopefully, he can pick up from there.
Yeah, from my side, to all the haters that were hoping there'd be an asterisk on our first Premier League title lift. Forget about it. I'm looking forward to, if we don't lift it at Goodison Park, then we lift it at Anfield. I think it's going to be sad not having the fans there. But yeah, shout out to all the haters. You did not win.
All right. I think, like I said, looking forward to United doing the most. If Ole can get through, I think the first 4 games that we come back, I think we'll do really well in the league. So, hoping for that. But thank you very much for joining us. Hope this gave you a lot. We want to see all those comments and everything that you guys think in the comment section. And this is a new YouTube channel, so we'd like you guys to like, share, and subscribe. Share it to as many people as possible, and we will have a lot more people coming on to our show in the future. So we want to get this rolling. We want to do this right. And so we hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry that it was this long. We're still working out how we want to do things, but hopefully we'll get better as time goes, even camera wise and everything. So hoping you guys enjoyed this, and we will see you guys next time.